Somebody is a Taylor Swift fan and they're resonating with you right now. Hi.
Yeah.
You know who you are.
I'm just trying to be chill about it.
Mm-hmm.
But
no, we get that. I mean, you're talking to a group of like comic book fans and anime nerds that had to exist in this world for 30 something years.
But in this realm, we're normies.
Yeah, we're normies.
We're the normies.
Here, you're the weirdo.
Yes.
Out there, yeah, no, we'll see what happens. But here,
cool, you know. It's good not to be the freak sometimes.
What's up, guys? We're back with episode 25. We've been here for 25 weeks talking to you guys, hanging out, chilling, just getting you know you guys as you know us. And it's been a fun ride so far. You know, so we're today we continue our train with the guests. We got Amanda back for another episode, and we're about to get right into it. So, am I out of pocket for leaving my wife at home because she wanted to drive in our neighborhood while we were trick-or-treating?
That's weird.
All right. So let that sit in.
Women shouldn't be driving.
Damn.
He's gonna say it out loud. All right. Me and my wife been married for 10 years and have 3 kids together. We both have always been on a little chubby side. But don't get me wrong, my wife is absolutely gorgeous. And in the middle of COVID, I saw the numbers about how everyone was getting overweight. And I wanted to start eating right and running. And I put a little bench in the garage and I dropped like 30 pounds in the past couple years. And I've been on the road to health ever since. And I'm pretty proud to take my shirt off at the pool and such now. So boom, Halloween hits. I have been hyped all month because I had like a Roman gladiator type costume to wear out with the kids. We always all wear costumes. I get dressed and we're both getting the kids ready and she doesn't even put on her robe to be like a fortune teller. And then she grabs the keys and says, "Everyone ready." It was like 78 degrees outside, absolutely beautiful to walk around a little neighborhood. I tell her and the kids that I wanted to walk and we are standing in the driveway and ready to go. She kind of stomps her foot and goes back inside. Me and the kids go out and have a blast, and we're all some variant of a warrior. So we're looking pretty cool with our swords and marching, collecting candy and whatnot. One of the houses has a little haunted garage and toys to play with. We stop here for a bit. I had a few drinks to finish the night, exchange numbers with the family that lives there, and headed home. I get back home after the kids go to bed. My wife explodes on me, saying I smell like tequila, and ever since I lost weight, that I don't do the same things I used to do. We used to eat ice cream every single night, big cups from Cold Stone, and now we only do it like once every few months. She even brought up the phone number because it was written down and I left it on the counter since I forgot my phone when we left. It was very clearly had the couple's name on it and was not like some random girl. Then she complains we all could have totally drove, and I told her just because she doesn't want to better herself, she didn't have to make me and the kids suffer as well. It was harsh, but I feel like I was being attacked for no reason. So I was out of pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
I mean, this is another one of those everyone is out of pocket, but yeah, man, you were being attacked and you went for a low blow.
I think we don't have the whole story, and I think that was just like a culmination of things. Because it's like this isn't the first time like he's tried to do something active and the wife said no and whatever. So like it just came to a head.
True. It does seem like there's probably a lot that... I mean, in these situations, in these out-of-pockets, there's always a lot that...
It's always more going on to it. But, like, this one is, like, blatantly obvious that, like, there's some deeper-rooted stuff in there. And this isn't just about the kids on Halloween. Mm. And, like, you not wanting to go for a walk on Halloween.
Yeah, because that's a hell of a response. Like, you... Just so... Because you don't want to better yourself. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah. But, I mean, with her response before that, though, like, it did warrant that response, though. Because before that, she said... What did she say?
Was it the number and that they don't do the things that you used to do anymore?
Yeah, then she complains we all could have totally drove, and I took her... No, not that one. Yes. Yeah, she said I don't do the things we used to do, and we should just eat ice cream every single night and just eat Cold Stone.
I guess.
What do you think?
Well, the most shocking part of the story for me was that it was 78 degrees on Halloween, which I've never...
I don't know where they are.
I can't relate to that. It's always raining here. It's always freezing cold. I always have to wear a coat. So that was shocking enough. And then... and, I mean, it sounds like, you know... Because in the beginning, he was saying kind of like, oh, like, you know, I did it for myself. It's been a couple years. I bettered myself. I had this hot Roman costume and I went out on Halloween with my kids kind of thing. But like, he was like massaging the, oh, well, I did this. She can kind of do what she wants to do. I think she's beautiful. But then you're going to just roundhouse kick her at the end and be like, well, if you don't want to better yourself or whatever. But it's like, okay, well, then don't fucking fluff it up and shit in the beginning and be like, oh, but you're so beautiful or whatever. Either, like, I don't know, have a discussion or, you know, those underlying things, you know, like, if you're growing apart because of it, then maybe you're growing apart because of it, but at the same time, I don't know, I just can't imagine driving around in a car on Halloween, unless you're like going to like a completely different neighborhood and then getting out,
like some like actual disability. I'm just like, I don't know why you would even.
Right.
Oh, yeah. I will point out a few things. First off, like when I was a kid, we would drive out to Southfield and we'd go trick or treating there.
Well, if you're gonna go, you
park
drive
at the end of the neighborhood and then walk around the neighborhood.
Yeah, but in this story, it seems like wherever they went trick or treating was obviously within walking distance.
Yeah.
And another thing, if you have someone who is really obese, then just even walking for a short distance like that, like down a block, health experts count that as like a day of exercise for truly obese people. So if she's obese and he isn't anymore, then she can't really do the same things that he can, and he may not really understand or care that, you know, for you it's a walk, but for her it's a marathon.
Right.
I don't know if she put on that much weight though.
Nah, I think it's more or less like that. She just didn't want to walk around the neighborhood and just wanted to drive, and he was like feeling good, and the kids were like amped up, and he's like, well, let's just walk, it'd be easier. And she was like, I don't really want to walk, and she just went in the house.
Yeah,
stumped her feet,
but it didn't seem like that deep or whatever, but then I think it turned into something else, some underlying issue.
Yeah, by the end of it.
Well, yeah, because I mean, that's why I'm saying, like, I think it's an underlying issue, because, like, you mentioned, like, the liquor or whatever. I'm like, yeah, obviously, like, if your wife's pissed at you, you come home, you had some drinks. I mean, like, yeah, that's man. But that works either way, though, because, like, if he was at home and she went out with the kids, she came back. Like, no matter in that situation, like, if anyone's going to be butthurt. But I don't know. It just seems kind of childish.
On which end?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like, yeah, you've been working out or whatever, and your wife hasn't. So I mean, you've lost a little weight. Cool. You're in a little better position physically than she is. Cool. And she didn't want to walk. Also cool. Like, yeah, but she didn't have to like come at him like, you don't even stay at home and eat ice cream with me anymore. I mean, that's what she said.
That seems a little sitcom-y right there.
It is. And then like he responded with like pretty much like, well, if you just want to be a lazy piece of shit, that's cool, but that's not me anymore. Because that's what was said, and it's like, I think they're both just like cartoonishly childish.
I do want to point out, she didn't say you don't stay home and eat ice cream with me anymore. She said you don't do what we used to do anymore, and then he, to us, gave out the example of we used to sit down and eat Cold Stone ice cream.
Okay, that's
this
makes more sense to me. This is how he sees her. Dang, man.
Yeah, I didn't consider that.
Yeah. And that's the feeling I was getting from the whole thing, because just like Amanda said,
bitter man that's been married for too long, and just doesn't want to do it anymore.
He tried to make himself seem like this like benevolent, I love my wife as is, but see, he doesn't like this shit. He wants her to get in shape like him. Yeah. So that's the underlying message here.
It's like, bro, just have that conversation.
Yeah. Yeah.
No one's like, well, I'm taking this path. It's like, do you want to come along with me on this path?
Yep. But maybe they have had it, maybe they haven't. Like, we don't know. We don't know what's been said behind closed doors. But I do still stick by the OP's out of pocket. Yeah. And I also think that the wife's a little childish for, when she said that he didn't want to drive. Basically, she like stormed off and didn't participate. And I thought, you don't need to do that.
Yeah.
Like you can definitely just have like, hey,
you can have one in the car and one on the ground. That is actually something that we used to do. Like that was what happened. We'd drive out to Southfield. The kids would get out and we'd walk house to house, and my mom would be in the car driving to make sure that, you know, we didn't get accosted by no one out there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's perfect. You know, you can have someone on the ground, someone in the car
team
at the
effort.
same time.
Yeah.
Team effort. Yes.
Yeah.
Got to do the team part.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. To me, that represents like all of everything in his head happened there, like the whole situation.
Yeah.
So if he just was chill about everything, none of this would have transpired. I don't know what happened after, if, you know, there are ramifications, if they're having issues, but his whole butthurtness about this is from the initial issue. He wants her to lose weight.
Yeah.
And she's not losing weight.
Read between the lines there.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty, just like it.
How do y'all feel about that?
He set you up for it because he was just like, yeah, but my wife is gorgeous.
Yeah, she's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I love
absolutely
her.
Gorgeous, and I love her.
She's a queen.
If only she wants better herself.
To be better.
She likes that ice cream, though.
That damn ice cream.
She loves that ice cream more than me. That's crazy.
But what if you have a situation like that where you got one partner who, you know, y'all were both out of shape. You're getting in shape, trying to, you know.
I feel like this conversation is like a normal couple conversation about any matter.
Yeah.
I want to do one thing, you want to do another thing. It's like,
yeah.
Well, it's like I want to do one thing to myself, and I want you to do one thing to yourself.
Mm.
Yeah, I think in this situation, all you can do is present it for what it is. It's like, I feel a certain type of way about my body, and I want to make some changes. So it's like, I'm going to make these changes, and it's like, do you want to do these changes for you as well? Because if you don't want to do it for you, it's not going to ever work anyway.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
For sure.
So, I mean, you just gotta, I guess I would just approach it like that. Like, I'm going to do it, and it's like, if you want to do it with me as well, yeah. But it's like, the tough part about that, though, is like, if they don't, you can't hold it over their head. And it's like, I feel like it will be, at some point, it gets harder because, like, you do eventually start to lead a different lifestyle and do different things. Because at a certain point, you just naturally get into different things.
Yeah.
And it's like, at that point, then it's like, that's where issues can rise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Because that's my thing. Is like, okay, the whole idea of y'all both getting in shape makes sense because you live longer, you can do more stuff, you don't have joint issues later, blah blah blah. So better sex, all that stuff. So it's a net positive if y'all both get in shape. But if this person just doesn't want to do it, I mean, I guess you just gotta let bygones be bygones and try to lead by example. Right. At that point.
Then, but the touchy part too is like when you go into like long-term relationships and like marriage and stuff too. It's like it becomes difficult because then you look at it like you don't want to say like you want to get divorced or something over to something as simple as like
that's a bit extreme. But it's
extreme. Like at the same time though, like if you go down this way and you changing your entire because you change this much about your lifestyle, it's like, but at what point, how far can you get away where it being before it's okay type deal? You know what I mean? Because it's like, if you start to have a workout lifestyle, start to go out more, go to the gym more, like you start to meet different people, be in different circles, do different things, be around. And it's like, at that point, it's like, at some point, like, if you're not, this partner or whatever isn't going to the gym with you, they're not going to go do these things with you with these people that go to the gym because it's just going to be awkward. Like the conversations are going to be different. Like the atmosphere is different. The things you're going to be doing are going to be different. So it's like, then at one point, I mean, I guess the answer is different for everybody, but at some point, like, you got to make a decision.
Yeah. You just hope that they aren't insecure. Because, like, if you're around attractive people, you're becoming more attractive. He or she, they're not attractive. Or they're not having trouble with that. But also, that they would eventually see that. Like, okay, they're better than themselves. They're living a better life. Maybe I should start on my journey, too. To get better.
But again, like you said, that hiccup itself too, like that goes away. Like where are their insecurities and how secure are their insecurities? Like, are they the insecure, like, they'll internalize the insecurity and can talk to you about it or move forward with it? Or are they the insecure and going to, like, burst out and, like, accuse you of stuff or, like, make a big scene about it? You know, it kind of just, like, every step, once that diversion starts, it's like every step of that is, like, you know, a different path opens up to, like, which way it can go.
Yeah.
Because, like, you start working out, like you said, like, your partner's, like, sees you being more attractive people, they internalize, they're like, you know, maybe I will go. Even if it starts out with, like, a jealousy thing, like, I want to go to the gym because I just want to make sure nothing's going on. You just happen to kind of fall into liking it. I mean, like, that's a possibility, too. It's, like, so many different ways that can go, but I feel like, realistically, unless you either both go in the same direction or that other person is, like, very secure, or at least secure enough to have open conversations about it, I don't even know if it could actually work, like, long term.
I think eventually the realism aspect will be, okay, this person becomes gym nut, but this person, they just get healthier. Just generally healthier, more walks. Maybe don't go to the gym, but, you know,
That situation, like that. I feel like it can work because it's still like you're still doing stuff as a couple, so to speak. Like, they may not see you going to the gym, but you're like, because if you're eating healthy, you're buying different foods or whatever, and that person's okay with it. So, like, you're still living the same lifestyle type, instead of just like the other, because if the other person's not doing anything, I think that's where, like, the issue.
That's it.
Like, that's where the problem would be.
There has to be some level of adaptation.
Yeah. Because, I mean, like, that person's still eating ice cream every day, and you're trying to live a healthier lifestyle. I mean, like, that shit's just not going.
So,
right.
In response to that, I think in the out-of-pocket, that does come up as a problem where, because of their different lifestyles, one is able to walk with the children, one is not, and doesn't want to, you know, wants to take the car. And because because that happened like that, and when they finally did actually butt heads over it, you know, OP led with the right uppercut, basically. Yeah. This is looking real bad in the future.
Yeah.
I just think that bouncing off of that would be, if you give that kind of uppercut to her, it's almost like she could be spiteful to be like, I'm not doing that at all.
True.
Kind of thing, where I think, especially for their kids, which sounds like they, you know, if they're going out with them for Halloween, that they care about them and stuff, that, you know, they want to set a good example for their children. So it's like, if they're eating out often, maybe we bring that in a little bit, you know, let's just eat out once every couple weeks or whatever. Or, you know, I'm getting more fruits and vegetables into my life, let's integrate that into our meals with the kids, kind of thing, and make it more so not like a, you know, you need to get healthy, but like, oh, well, I just started doing this, do you want, like, jump on board kind of thing, or whatever, instead of being like, you need to be this way. You know what I mean? It's just kind of like naturally a part of their lifestyle now, you know? And sometimes people just need that too, because, I mean, junk food and stuff's so accessible and easy. That, you know, if he's taking the time to, you know, cook meals and do this kind of stuff and wanting to set that example, he can't, you know, especially when even men and women lose weight in different ways. It takes women, it's harder for women, and everything. So I think that, you know, maybe just the approach, can be a little more tender. You know, I think he was just being spiteful and such. And you know what? Sometimes you are allowed to eat ice cream.
Yeah, I mean, you get cheat days.
True.
Yeah.
I think when people are really angry, they tend to accidentally tell the truth.
Yep.
And when they're drinking. And he was drinking. And he was drinking.
And when you smell like tequila. Yeah. So that was clearly what he really thought. Like, you don't want to better yourself. And I don't see why I should lessen my experience because you don't want to better yourself. That's a conversation that they should probably go have with a professional. Yeah. Like, don't let some random bozos on TikTok and YouTube podcasts tell you. But this random bozo thinks that you should probably go to counseling for that. You and the wife.
Yeah, because there's some deep-seated shit there.
Yeah.
The whole framing on that.
Yeah, you're out of pocket.
Yeah, like
That framing, better yourself to your wife? Like, what?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That is a statement.
Because that means that
felt
that. Like, that was brewing.
Yeah.
Like, this is some stuff for like some years. This is not like a last year, 2 years ago. This is like some.
He better watch out though. I bet she. If someone said something like that to me.
Yeah, you're gonna get revenge. Yeah, he doesn't
Don't
know
forget
when,
shit like
but
that.
Yeah, because I mean,
get your ass for it.
Yeah, that was.
But you're right about the years. I remember he did say that he bought the bench, and over years he lost 30
He said 2 years he had lost the 30 pounds.
Like, this has been going on for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a lot of deep rooted like.
30 pounds in 2 years?
30 pounds in 2 years.
Better yourself. Like,
bro, get your weight up, bro.
That's
That's light work, bro.
But no, hopefully they figured it out and this didn't destroy.
Yeah.
Ooh, sometimes you say bad things to the people that you're closest to, and hopefully, he regrets that and wants to actually have a nice adult conversation with his wifey.
Yeah.
Did you get to check out any of the responses to it?
It wasn't any on that one.
Not on that one. Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, don't know. I don't know, man. Could have been one way. It could have been another, man. But as we are thoroughly versed in nerd culture, anime, and video games and such, T Swift is kind of not in our wheelhouse, but she's currently going through, went through some, was it like, is that licensing it? Not licensing. What is it?
Well, yeah.
I guess it's licensing, yeah. So like, dude had her dude bought her masters, was going to sell them to her, but sold them somewhere else.
So what had happened was, she was with a very small label when she first was started. This guy was kind of just like, have trust in me. She did, because she was just starting out. He was just starting out. And then Scooter Braun, who, his clients are like Justin Bieber, Ariana Grande, a bunch of people that we know. He bought that record company from this dude now it's been a while. And because he bought that, he owned Taylor's masters. And instead of speaking to Taylor to be like, hey, do you want to buy these back from me or whatever, he then sold them to somebody else. And so, and there's some, neither here nor there of him being like, well, I did talk to Taylor and stuff like that, but, we don't believe men here.
The rest of us do.
So,
this is the Taylor sphere, right?
Yeah.
Kelly Clarkson actually tweeted at Taylor and was like, hey, you should just re-record all of your old albums and then sell them underneath you and call them your version, and no one else would listen to the old ones. And so then she did it. And so right now she's done 3 re-records, which would be Taylor's version of all 3 of these. Anything that says Taylor's version is a re-record. And then she has 3 more to do, and then she has 10 albums total. So the other ones already she owns because she signed with a different label. With the conditions that she owns the masters and everything. Sure. And from an artist's point of view, obviously you would most likely want to own something that you wrote and created and everything. So it's especially like a big deal. Level. Yeah, 100%. And the audacity to be like, well, I just sold these to some chump over there kind of thing, instead of,
with audacity to like go against a pop star like of that caliber. Because it's like, you can't win. Like they've proven time and time again that fan bases are gonna like they're gonna beat you every time. And it's like when you go against people that like Taylor, Beyonce, Britney, like shit like that, it's like just
you looking for payday.
your arms are too short to box them down.
Can I point out another thing? That this is 2023 social media era.
Yeah.
Everyone knows now.
100%.
It's like we can find the receipts ourselves. We don't need you to produce them anymore for the most part.
It's like they could get away with that in 1999 because we didn't know what was happening with Britney, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
But that's not how it works today.
No.
It didn't work today.
I want to hear the Taylor version now. Fuck that old Busta shit, man. I want to hear this new outfits, man.
When you were saying that, like, yeah, because all the fans, like, because you were saying, like, the one album, like, the night before the new one came out, it, like, blew up, but the next day it had, like, no streams.
Yeah, there was, like, infographic with Spotify that I saw where it was, like, the night before, because everyone's so amped up about Speak Now coming out, Speak Out Sound, Taylor's version. The night before, we're all pumped up, jamming to the original Speak Now, all the numbers were up, and then Speak Now Taylor version is released, and then it was like, boo, to the old version, and she sold more with this version than she did with the original version.
He was sitting there with a chub, so just ready, just a half semi, just raging, ready to go. And then when midnight hit, just
and all our fans are on board, like it's like the second that you can download, I have Apple Music, so I download it on my phone and then get rid of the old version. I mean, for a majority of them, because a couple of them I kept. Okay,
fair enough.
There's just some,
This is, I'm not gonna say about what happens to artists' works after they, pass on from this mortal coil. Well, it's like the old versions do have some nostalgia value and some other types of value now too.
Perfect imperfections, because like I know a lot of old heads listen to like the old version stuff because it has like a hiccup or you can hear their string plucked or some random shit like that. And I'm just like, I guess, if that's the way you heard it and the way you remember it, I can see why you would want that.
I often don't like remakes of songs, to be honest. That's why I don't know if I would like.
But I was telling Amanda earlier about like how they made the pixels on CRT TVs, like games in CRT TVs, how they made it so it was like perfectly pixel perfect, and like now like playing old games that have been updated, it looks worse because like you engineer something to perfectly fit like one thing at one point in time, and it's like you try to fix it later for problems that didn't even know existed yet, and it's like you're just making everything worse, and it's like just sometimes you gotta leave the shit the way it is.
Yeah, for this, like she, even in her Eras tour, she describes it as a passion project. She's doing it for herself, and the fans are just jumping on board and supporting. So what's nice is like, so her first re-record was, and she's re-recording like her vocals, everything is completely redone. And now that she's older and more mature, her voice is stronger. It sounds stronger, but it still sounds authentically her. So like Fearless came out, I'm like, oh my gosh, she still has her little twang, her country twang, because that was a country album. Same with Red, and it's still, you could feel the emotion with it. And Speak Now came out, and the one thing I was missing from it was like her teenage angst, because I mean, it's an album when she was in high school, and the stories and themes on it are a little like, she stole my man and this and that, and you can hear it in her voice where it's like there's like earnestness and and little squeakiness where it's like it was authentically that time, and it takes you back to that time in your life and stuff cracks. Where now
the voice cracks.
The new version's beautiful and wonderful, but there's something about that little bit of teen angst that I miss, where her storytelling's so good that was just like the part of the storytelling that I kind of missed in this, as opposed to you know, the not taking away from the lyrics, but just, you know, that moment in time. You can't replicate that moment in time. Like, I had told Mark that she did some vault tracks, which are songs that were supposed to make the album, that she, in the past, that didn't, but she includes on the new Taylor versions. And so 2 of the songs, one was with Haley from Paramore and one was with Fall Out Boy. And like just knowing those 2 names, you're like, oh yeah, this is a little bit of like pop punk, you know, kind of thing going on. And so you imagine that in that time, like I'm like, oh yeah, I had seen bangs and like a black streak in my hair and stuff, and thought I was like so cool and everything. And so it takes you back there, but not to diminish anything from her version, like, because it does sound great. But that would be the only thing that I miss. But at the same time, she's not that person anymore. Right. You can't say, oh, hey, go back to high school right now, because I'd be like, no, thank you. I'd rather forget it. And not even in a bad way. Like, I wasn't bullied or anything. I just mean like I'm too old for that mindset, you know?
You know what it's like? It's almost like recording over old home movies, because it's almost like a snapshot in time. Yeah. So to some degree, there is going to be that, which is unfortunate. But there's also the talent portion of it, which is her raw talent, that she can redo those tracks, and that's the good part. But the feeling part is like,
you can't get that, and that's the As a musician, that's what sells your everything.
True.
I mean, we might be able to see a technician. We might be able to see her attempts. We might be able to see how she has perfected her technique throughout these years. Maybe she actually can replicate that. You know, it'll be a new experience either way.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I was worried about the country twang as well on her country albums that she put out of the re-records, but it sounded so good. Like, but both Fearless and Red, I felt what needed to be felt. It was, that emotion was there. So, I don't know. It was just like a little something of the angst that I was missing. But that's just first week now. The other ones were so great. Like, but you know, that's just my opinion. No one come for me.
Everything about Taylor Swift is so great. Is what she isn't saying, but she's thinking it.
She is so great. I love everything about her. If you haven't watched the Miss Americana documentary on Netflix, you should watch it, because it'll make you love her more. She is queen. She is all.
I don't know. I find it interesting. Like, I like this story because they're like, I think it's a big W for musicians and like artists, just like in general. And I think it's super dope that she's kind of planting her flag. Like, she's like, this is like this product. Because as a musician, like, your product is you. Like, all those songs are little pieces of her. Like, she's just reclaiming, like, no, these are me, and like, I'm taking me back, and like, you know, and I appreciate that. Like, in her, like, she's going to make money off it, but like, she's really not trying to though. She's really just like, I want these for me, and it's just like, the fans are like, well, if you want it for you, like, we're glad that you're doing that.
Yeah, and we're on board.
But give me that.
Yeah.
Give me that.
We're on board.
Give me that.
Yeah.
Give me the new songs. And I think those Vault songs are genius too, though, because it's like these songs that I would have recorded, would have, should have, could have came out, but it's like, now I'm big enough to do whatever the hell I want to.
That was a song on her Midnights. What it should have, could have, Midnights.
I didn't know I accidentally made a Taylor reference.
You did.
Nice.
Did you quote some lyrics?
I did.
Accidentally. He knocked it out the park too.
Yeah,
That's
terrible. That was good.
No, accidentally. That's terrible. The only Taylor song I like is "Shake It Off." That's the only one I like, and I was talking to a man about earlier, because I like it because it's a middle finger to everyone else. It's like, yeah, if you don't like me, so what? You can talk your shit, do whatever, but like, I'm still gonna be me. And it's like, anyone, if I like you as an artist or not, like, anyone that makes that song for themselves, it's like, I can't get mad at you, because like, you're artist. Like, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to be authentically yourself and do you, and not say fuck everyone else. I mean, like, that's what that drive got you to where you are. So who am I, some random Joe, to be like, nah, fuck what you talking about? Like, I mean, talk your shit. So I like that song for that reason. But the rest of them,
1989, Taylor's version's coming.
Just need someone to introduce you. You know, it's like, whenever you've got a new genre that you're trying to get into, you don't know what's good and what's bad. You need someone very knowledgeable about it to introduce you
my
to
genre.
the best.
I got Katy Perry.
You know what?
That feels that niche for me.
I just realized something. Wouldn't that be a pretty good special? Just between you two, though. We don't have to be there. Just like, the best Katy Taylor Swift songs ever. I said that the cat could be there too. I said Kitty could also be there. That's our cat Piper. Anyway.
Oh my gosh, you don't want to. You don't. That would be a 4-hour long special.
No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that at all.
Taylor Swift for 4 hours?
I will say I respect Taylor because she sings a shit ton of songs in her. Because I was going to say that earlier. I think that's why she can get the emotion of like a lot some of her other songs because she sings like all of her songs all the time. So it's like if you're singing the songs all the time, like you still know like the emotion and like what you felt through it. Because a lot of artists they do their tour for like that album and like that song is never heard from again. Like except like the 3 or 4 radio songs off that.
Her Eras tour where she plays every era, and then she has an acoustic set in the middle with surprise songs that you like random ones that aren't on the original set list. So everyone gets geared up and like so excited to find out what her special acoustic songs are going to be. So that's cool. And obviously when you play something acoustically, that like raw emotion is there. Yeah. And some of the songs have never been played either at all before live or acoustically live. So, there's so many different elements in this tour and what she's doing and everything that it's just like
it is multi-layered, and as a performer it's like that's impressive. It's impressive because like singing, remembering 40-50 fucking songs in general.
She just does 44 songs. She sings for like 3 hours, 3:15 every show.
That's incredible because I mean a reason I don't like going to concert because most like people are out there for like an hour and like that's it. You get like maybe 1 or 2 encores.
No, you get your money's worth.
That's cool. I mean, it wouldn't be my money's worth because 3 hours is way too much.
For me, it was 6 hours.
Too much for you, man.
And it was worth it, baby.
She went to 2 concerts today. I love that for her. I was good on it, but I was like, I love that for you. That's good.
We need to up your T Swift score, man.
Man, my concerts go to 0. I just don't go. I just don't do concerts.
Concert girly. Concert
I can have that.
girly.
I'm good on it.
Yeah,
But she's a performer, though.
She's setting some cool standards, I think, for the music industry, and because a lot of people, even these young singers who even do covers and stuff that you see on like TikTok and Instagram and stuff like that or whatever, they're so small and starting, and it's like you don't want to be bamboozled, right. and you want to own, especially if you're a lot of these people are writing their own stuff, not just the lyrics but like the music and everything. So I think it's just shows like a good way for people to be responsible with their art, because people can be taken advantage of easily. And like you said earlier, like back in the 90s with, growing up, we didn't know that these things were happening,
right.
And what people were signing and stuff and what they got themselves into. And now it's like accessible to see and hear about.
Well, the cool thing too, though, is like you have like people that can help. Like you have like doctors and lawyers and stuff that are like on these social media platforms too. So like a random lawyer can scroll through and see something and they're like, that's not right.
Yeah.
And then it's like, that's weird. And it's like, that's the beauty of it because it's like, these are random people like after their day job. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a lot of people like when these things come off, like the stuff with Britney comes off, you have these like fans and they're like, I was a kid there, but it's like now I'm a lawyer or I'm in a position where I can help her do a little bit I can. I was like, all right, yeah, she posted this document on Instagram. It's like, yeah, I can read through this document. It's like, well, I can highlight a couple things, send it to her team. If they see it, they help, whatever. If not, whatever, I did what I could. And it's like, we can do that now. We have the power to do that. And it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things I love is when you see a random ass expert on one of these threads put on like a 5 or 6 point explanation of why this whatever is bullshit.
Just in the middle of the comments, and his is like, all right, I'm out.
Yeah, it's like, that's 21st century.
And these people that, especially when they're people like Brittany that we've grown up with, like, she was 17 when she freaking did, like, crazy and Baby One More Time and stuff. Like, she was so young, and then now that we've grown up with her, and it's just like, you fucking did that to Britney Spears, the princess of pop?
But
what?
That situation was worse too. It's like, you did that to your kid, your own kid.
That's
because it's like predatory stuff is like, obviously it's predatory, it's wrong or whatever, but it's always this little bit of, it wasn't your actual parents. So it's like, it's not just saying that it's okay. It's like, all right, it's not as bad because like, it's not your parent, you know? It's like, this person took advantage of you. They're not your parents. So like, it's bad, but it's like, yeah, don't worry about it. But like, her case is like, you tell
your most trusted people, your family,
and they're the ones fucking you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like, dog. And that shit went on way too long. And it was like essentially happening, not necessarily to that degree with Taylor, but like it was going on, it was showing the same type of stuff. Like, she was being taken advantage of the whole time because the same situation. You were a kid when you came in, we thought she could advantage of you, but now you're growing up and you're starting to figure shit out.
Yeah, and you have a voice now, and
you have a billion people that are listening to your voice that that help your voice.
Right, and you know, these higher up people, you know, think that they can take advantage of you. Again. I mean, even when we were just talking about American Gladiators. You know, you have all this talent, and then the higher up people are like, you're disposable. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's not true.
Yeah. Then they're like, oh, wait. That money was coming in because of you? Not because I was sitting in my office telling you to do stuff? That's crazy.
I wonder what exactly they plan to get with the Masters now. Now that the Masters that they bought have themselves become obsolete. Yeah. What are they going to do? How are you going to make money off of that when everyone knows that this shit was stolen from its rightful owner?
Right.
And a better version now.
Stop making me feel bad for keeping a couple songs from the original speak. Now I need to delete it. Oh, you're firing me up. No, but it's almost like, you know how they say if you drive a car off a lot, it loses its value kind of thing? Like, it's one of those things where it's like...
just called karma. Because, like, bro, you literally would have rated like 7 minutes. You would have been fine. Because you would have waited like 7 minutes and be like, here, Taylor, like, you know, here's your money for it. Like, Taylor's a nice person. She probably would have did something for you on the back end of it.
Right.
But it's like, you decided to, like, undercut her. And it's like, now you've given her enough ammo to tour for another 8 years. Because she can retour every one of those albums that she relaunches. And I'm just like, bro, you gave her 8 years worth of money. Because like you wanted to be petty.
These drops, these Taylor's version drops, are just as big as when she puts out something new.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean? Like when she put out Midnights is a new album. Amongst her doing her re-records, it's just like, holy crap, this is TS10 coming out. Oh my god. But then it's just as exciting. It's like, oh my god, Speak Out Now is coming out next. Like, it's crazy. And she does her cute little Easter eggs in all of her music videos and in her posts and all these things where it's like, it makes it fun to be a fan and to know what's happening. Yeah. And you know, it's like her fan base is ride or die.
They are, but it's more like herself, she has more of a fan base of like a studio or like a entity because it's like she does stuff that like most like individual people don't do. Like game studios do that. Like they put Easter eggs in their game and they make their marketing stuff. Like they like stuff like that. Like people don't put Easter egg in their videos about their albums that are coming out and then put Easter eggs in their albums about t-shirts and shit that are coming out.
She does stuff 3 years in advance, people.
But I mean, like,
she said it in an interview. 3 years in advance, you're gonna pluck a little Easter egg in there.
I mean, that's kind of baller. But I mean, like...
Yeah, well, and she's a mastermind. That's why. She's a mastermind. And I would also like to point out, in the midst of all this, that she is selling out arenas at unprecedented unprecedented. Here I go with my fucking large words.
Oh, you got it, guys.
No,
I know I got it, but it's like, why? I get so excited and then I lose the... I know, right? It's fine. Anyway, we can chop and screw it, no? Okay, anyway.
I gotta ask, please stop clapping your hands and clapping your thighs and making percussion sounds. I have to edit that.
I'm sorry.
But you gotta make a point, Ryan. And
Breezy,
a point.
You were the biggest problem when you were going to...
I'm sorry.
What'd I do?
You're clapping.
It out.
Huh?
Okay, I'm sorry. I get excited if I clap my legs.
When did I clap?
This was like 10 minutes ago, but there was some breezy clap. There was some... You were making...
Oh, when I was talking.
Yes.
Oh, I talk with my hands.
Oh, you're talking to hands.
I'm going to edit this out.
All right. She's selling out arenas at unprecedented rates.
Unprecedented rates? That's crazy.
Yeah. To the point where Ticketmaster has been...
If
down
like 2 or 3 times, like multiple times.
Like because millions of people are in the queue to get her tickets, let alone 20,000 people standing outside the arena and making it like a thing to be outside the arena listening to the show.
Oh, I thought you meant to like buy tickets. I'm like, can you even buy tickets in person anymore?
No, there's like, if there's like, cause you
know,
so
you mean like maxed out show, and then it's just like 20,000 random people outside still banging Taylor Swift.
Just chilling, ready to just hang out with other Swifties, trade their friendship bracelets, and jam to Taylor Swift in the parking lot.
So what is with these friendship bracelets? Travis Kelce was talking about these friendship bracelets.
Okay, so the friendship bracelets, so she has a song, You're on Your Own, Kid, and it's a line about making friendship bracelets, and so people have been making them with, different lyrics on them, or funny little quirky, like one of the girls that work for me made a Slayer Swift, one for me, Dr. Swift, because she does have a doctorate now.
And what?
And everything, yeah.
And what?
Taylor Swift has a doctorate, I don't know, I'm guessing in arts of something.
I mean, it could be music theory.
I
imagine it's like music theory or something.
It might be, I mean, I'm
not knocking her. I mean, that's impressive.
But she's a doctor, and that's the most important thing.
Okay. That's baller.
But anyway, so you make these cute little bracelets, and then you go to the show, and then you trade them with people, and people have like arm's length of like all these friendship bracelets on, and it's just this cute little community thing to do at the shows and stuff. It's really
that is a nice icebreaker, though.
Mm-hmm.
That's like a nice simple icebreaker, like that your entire community can just like take advantage.
And there's people in front of you, to the side of you, behind you.
Her squad is her marketing team, her PR team is.
We're her PR team.
I give them a golf clap.
The fans.
I mean, you guys have
I keep slapping my leg. You hate me.
Oh, I wasn't paying attention.
It's okay. Breezy hates us too, and he's here all the time.
It's all right. Just say
he edited her cursing with a capital P at the top. Wow, I never knew I would have learned so much about Taylor Swift.
Jesus.
That's right. You ready to convert?
Oh, never. But I do find her, she's a fascinating person and a great entertainer. And I just like hearing stuff like this because it's like genius. Like just the level of, and it's not even, it's genius because it's not even like expletive or anything. It's literally just like stuff that she would do with people. And then she's literally just sharing shit with people. Because I can imagine her literally just sitting around like eating and just making friendship bracelets with people. Just fucking off and then randomly playing her guitar. I can see her doing that. So like when you tell me that people are like trading friendship bracelets at her guitar while she's sitting on stage playing acoustic and playing 44 songs, like, yeah, I believe that. And it's like, if that's what I was into, I mean, that sounds like a fun time, but it's like, it's not my cup of tea, but
and that's just the like surface of it. And then if you were to get into like her songwriting, literally her bridges are immaculate. Like, she is such a good songwriter. And it's just gotten better with time. It's beautiful. I think me being older now and listening, especially her like last, 4 or 5 albums, it's like it hits home. She's so good. It hurts my soul. What?
What? I'm just enjoying this underdog tale of Taylor Swift sticking it to the man, basically. Someone tried to screw her over, and she just dropped the big
2 feet on the
double
ground.
deuce and was like, I'll just do it over again.
Yeah, she said,
and
don't play with me.
did. And I'm just listening to cultist over here. Just
Just repeat the autobiography.
warms my heart. Hope they don't take it out for a sacrifice or anything.
They would need a pure heart for that.
Oh. Will virgins do?
Oh, shit. Oh, man.
God.
That was a trip through Taylor Swift's origin story, and that was a...
It could be heavily in depth, but I don't want you guys to get tuned out.
That was just enough level to keep me interested.
That's what I figured. I just gave you enough where it wasn't annoying.
That my eyes won't gloss over?
Yeah.
Don't worry, Amanda.
No, you stuck to the
We'll
good
get 'em
beats.
next
Yeah, I just don't want any viewers or listeners to think that I'm not a psychopath.
You want them to think
Because
that you
I am
are or you aren't?
100% a Taylor Swift psychopath.
Oh, okay. Then you
Yeah.
want them to think that you are.
I
Okay.
want
'Cause
them
I'm
to
like,
know
came
that I
across.
am,
Yeah.
and don't get this wrong. Okay.
No,
The
it
wrong
came across.
impression.
It came across as you basically dumbing down everything
Right.
to the idiots in the room,
Right.
and it worked.
It worked.
You know
Okay,
a little
good.
bit more,
Good.
but they also know that they saw the eyes.
Yeah,
saw
they
the
They
eyes.
better
Yeah,
know,
they saw
like,
eyes.
I know the conspiracies, I know the lore.
Somebody is a Taylor Swift fan, and they're resonating with you right now. Hi.
Yeah, and
You know who you are.
I'm just trying to be chill about it,
Mhm.
but
No, we get that. I mean, you're talking to a group of, like, comic book fans and anime nerds that had to exist in this world for 30-something years.
But in
Like,
this realm, we're normies.
yeah, we're
the
normies. Here, you're the weirdo.
yes.
Out there, yeah, no, we'll see what happens. But here,
And I appreciate that.
yeah, it's
That's
a
cool, you know? It's
you know,
good
little.
not to be the freak sometimes.
Being normal. How does it make you feel?
I feel tingly, but like in both a good and bad way. It might be blood circulation, though. I told you about my knee stiffening up. Whatever, that's not my knee. Anyway.
We'll replace that. Help us get to 1,000 subs so we can get Ryan a new knee.
Shit got kind of dark.
Not as dark as his knee is if we don't get that fixed.
Dang. Okay, it's not a bruise. It's just ashy.
I'm scared. Are you okay?
Oh, yeah, sure.
I mean, we're all dying slowly, but you know,
Yeah.
nothing more than normal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I looked at this reel today. I don't know the reason I'm just gonna be the last thing I talk about, but they were talking about it. It was like, why do all old people smell the same? Right? So this is how it started. And this guy gave this super like technical answer, and he said something about the lactic acid. And the other dude was like, bro, he's like, I'm be honest with you, I don't know what the fuck you just said. And the other guy there is like super smart, and he was just like, more or less, he just said, your skin's ripening and you're getting old, and it's the smell of decaying. And that's what all old people smell like that. So the scientific reasoning is like, yeah, you're slowly decaying, and it's the smell. It is the definition of the smell of death.
Whoa, it doesn't have to be death. I mean, I'm just
It
saying,
is just on that line.
Like, take apple, right, and bite into it and wait for like 80 years, except you're the apple.
Yeah, we're just slowly riding.
Oh, wait. Whoops. Hold on. That wasn't it.
Oh, yeah, you said it.
No.
Yeah,
that was the analogy you made.
But yeah, the skin is
it's
different.
I feel like old people smell like when you go to the thrift store.
Why do you think things smell like that in the thrift store?
Because it's old. It's from their houses.
And why would they
makes
smell
sense.
like that in their houses? Because the dead stem.
That's what I'm saying. Now it makes sense.
Yeah. Just old people's skin cells and everything.
It's like a specific smell of old.
And it's every single old person, no matter race, religion, or
yeah, I can smell it right now just thinking about it. Just the thought.
You know, that's funny. We're all thinking of the same smell right now.
Yeah.
It's kind of unpleasant.
Yeah.
It is unpleasant, but also comforting.
I mean, that.
Yeah, because it's a smell you feel safe, I guess.
Nah, I don't feel safe.
Because it's like, it's old people here. He'll be fine.
It's not good.
So
I would agree.
all my grandparents died before I, was
I've only
born.
had one the whole time.
Except for my grandmama, but she died in 2006. So the smell was just old people smell to me forever. It still is. The end.
It is, but everyone has that same smell. And it was just like a random scroll through my reel. I was like,
that's weird, man. Why'd you bring that up after talking about Taylor Swift, man? What you trying to say there, man?
nothing.
Because we're all growing old.
Dang. I thought he was trying to say that those old versions of the songs, that the masters are now all old and busted. And they smell like old people. Those songs that you have, that you're keeping, they smell like old people. Those old people songs.
Just gonna make your other songs smell like old people too. That's what he's saying. I mean, that's what I'm getting.
That's what it sounds like.
I gotta get rid of them.
You can't get that smell out either.
No, it's gonna be there forever.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter. We all know.
You have a suitcase.
I got a
Was there a
suitcase
dead
with
body in it?
Maybe, but I've done everything to that suitcase to get the smell out.
Febreze?
All sorts of scents, Febreze,
I feel like
oils.
Febreze is like step one.
Wow.
Yeah, everything just like covers the scent up a
boo-boo
little
flower.
bit, but it's still exactly.
Like, clearly, in order to get old people smell out, you just need to get young people and put them in there so that they can overwrite the old people smell.
True. I know a few young people too.
I mean, that's how smell works, right? You just get a
I
young
thought you just
smell,
put it 6
old
feet
smell,
away
maybe
from
like
you.
a modern smell. It's like,
I can do that.
okay, yeah,
Make that happen.
it's okay. Hey,
I'm trying to think of a smell
How-
that's
how
potent
big
that
is
you can
Emma
put
now?
in there.
No,
never
mind.
mind.
Maybe something minty. That's the only thing I can
Just
think
put
of.
mint in it.
Yeah, just put a bunch of mint in it.
Oh,
Yeah.
dang! You guys know a lot of children named Mint. That's weird. Straight face.
Oh man. On that note, I think it's time we do a rapidy rap on that. Just kidding. Your bed stay warm, your pillow stay cold.
Stay perfect, chat.
Peace.
I got my style.